Welcome to this live stream from First Unitarian Church of Des Moines. Our mission is to love radically, grow ethically and spiritually, and serve justly. We invite you to visit our website at www.ucdsm.org. It's a great way to explore all that our church has to offer, from adult programs, to religious education, to social justice work, and more. But the best way to know us is to visit on a Sunday. We'd love to get to know you over a cup of coffee after the service. Speaking of which, today's service will begin shortly. So now we'll take you inside.
Hear these words from Michelle Collins. We arrive carrying the familiar ache of not enough time, not enough rest, not enough certainty about what comes next. But here, in the space between one breath and another, something small and persistent whispers, you are held.
We come from days that felt too ordinary to notice, commutes and meetings, dishes and deadlines, the unremarkable hours that make up most of living. But buried in the mundane lie small miracles we walk past without seeing, like audio.
Some of us learned to count blessings on our fingers, others to whisper thanks to ancestors or earth or sky. We carry different languages of gratitude, different ways of recognizing what sustains us. All of them welcome here. Please join me in the chalice lighting words in your order of service. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us. And now, let us pass the peace. If you would prefer a little personal space, simply remain seated and your neighbors will take the cue and leave you in peace.
Please join us in singing hymn 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, verses 1 and 2. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, when we see our faces in each other's eyes, and our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, and our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place.
Good morning. I'm Susan Coke Bridgeford, she and hers, your celebrant this morning. We welcome all people who welcome all people. We welcome all genders, ethnicities, bodies, and stories. Whatever you are carrying with you, whatever you long to set down or pick up today, may you find here the love, support, and encouragement you seek. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you'd like to help connecting with folks, please be sure to grab a yellow mug. Let's talk during coffee hour to communicate your interest in getting to know more people. If you're noticing that it's hard to find a parking space, I want to recommend to you that the very large parking lot just north of the church on Bell Avenue by the Financial Association, and may our services become so good that we will also fill that lot up. And now, let us deepen our awareness of this place and this season. Our First Unitarian Church is located on land that has been home to people of woodland culture for 12,000 years, including the Iowa, Sauk, and Meskwaki.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the Reverend Steve C. Keyhim, and I'm honored to serve as your minister. What does it mean to be a Unitarian Universalist? Well, we are a people of all ages, people of many backgrounds, and people of many beliefs. We are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We create spirituality and community beyond boundaries, working for more justice and more love in our own lives and in the world. Unitarian Universalism draws from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. And so we covenant here and congregation to congregation and throughout the whole association to support and assist one another in this work. In that spirit, please join me in speaking together the First Unitarian Church of Des Moines Bond of Union. We covenant to associate ourselves together for the study and practice of morality and religion as interpreted by the growing thought and noblest lives of humanity, hoping thereby to prove helpful to one another and to promote truth, righteousness, and love in the world.
Please join in singing hymn 128. Please rise in body or spirit. For all that is alive, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life.
I'm not saying I have a favorite part of being a minister, but this is my favorite part. We have the privilege and honor as a congregation of dedicating a child today. Oh, and he came ready. Okay. We come now to dedicate a child, Jessica and Jake. What is the name of this dear child?
Sasha Anwar Deitmeyer Escutia.
Sasha Anwar Deitmeyer Escutia. Welcome. Now, this is a timeless ceremony. From the earliest days of recorded history, parents have brought their beautiful children to this kind of a special gathering place to share their joy and dedication with family and friends. So we hold this ceremony here at church to mark the fact that we have a responsibility for the care and nurturing of every child, including mine, who needs to sit down. We have some responsibility to help raise this child in a world where peace and justice can grow. It is our responsibility to share with them our hopes and ideals. If we want Sasha to grow up to be compassionate and sensitive, we need to be charitable and kind. If we want our children to learn that conflicts can be resolved peacefully, we will be peaceful in our conflicts. If we want our children to be tolerant and fair, we must show tolerance and fairness. And so this ceremony reminds us all that we are our great-grandchildren's ancestors, and that what we do ripples through time. You ready, Sasha? Okay. I'll take that as a yes. We are going to begin with a little bit of earth to remind you that you stand here. Do you want to play with that? You stand on the ground of ancestors. You never carry this all alone. We are with you. Next, I got to clean my hands here, is water. This is water from our water communion. All life arose from water, Sasha. You were raised in water before you were born, and now you are sustained by water. Boop. Sasha, may this water from our communion here be a symbol of your flourishing life here. Let me wash off your dirt, okay? This feather reminds us of air, of the kindness and love that flows through everything. May you feel our kindness and love. And this flower represents the uniqueness of every human being. Sasha, you are the only you. Yeah, you can play with that. You are the only Sasha that has ever existed on this earth. We affirm your path, and we recognize that it is your path. And finally, not actual fire, but the warmth of fire. There we go. It takes a minute for my hands to warm up. Okay. There, can you feel it? This is the warmth of our love, Sasha. Feel this warmth as a reminder of how deeply, deeply you are loved by your family and friends in church. Carito, nenito, escúchame. Llevas dos culturas en tu corazón. Dos árboles de antepasados en tu corazón. Ambos son tuyos. Ambos son tu derecho de nacimiento. Que Dios te bendiga doblemente. May God bless you doubly. Jake and Jessica, may God bless you in your adventures ahead as parents, rooting yourselves in the earth of our ancestors, flowing in the winds of kindness and grace, flourishing in the waters of life, preserving your own uniqueness through the stressors ahead, and warming yourselves in the fire of love. Our love for you all, your love for one another, and your deep and abiding love for Sasha. Jake and Jessica, do you covenant to journey with Sasha in love? Congregation, may you be blessed in these adventures ahead. May you root yourselves in the earth of ancestors, flow in the winds of kindness and grace. Yes, flourish with the waters of life, preserve your uniqueness, and warm one another with the fire of love. Do you covenant to journey with Sasha in love? Sasha, we love you, we see you, and we look forward to the adventures ahead. Let's go meet your new friends. Can I take this baby? Thank you. I will bring them back, I promise. Let's go meet your friends, okay? These are some of your buddies. Some of them you don't know yet. You can say hi to everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby saying hi to everybody. And I got a flower. Oh, little baby. I can see everybody now. It's nice to meet you all. I'm not good with names yet, though. Oh, there you are. I'm just going to leave now. Oh, okay. Let's go back to being a grown-up. Okay. Here you go, baby. Okay, yay!
Maybe if I can unmute the mic this morning. All right, if I can have the youth come down to the front today. All right, today's story is called The Grumbles, and it's a story about gratitude. The Grumbles were a happy family, most of the time. Well, a lot of the time. Okay, some of the time. Daddy Grumble was happy until he read the water bill. Mama Grumble was happy until she saw the laundry. Brother Grumble was happy until Sister took too long. And Sister Grumble was happy until Brother used her stuff. And Baby Grumble was happy until she got hungry or tired. That's when the Grumbles, started to grumble. Daddy Grumble would stomp his foot. Mama Grumble would shake her head. Brother Grumble would yell and complain, and Sister Grumble would tattle and whine. And Brother Grumble would wah, wah, wah. And then Grandma Grateful came for a visit. When Daddy showed his water bill, Grandma smiled and laughed. And when Mama pointed at the laundry, Grandma whistled and sang. When Sister took too long, Brother used her stuff. Grandma gave them both a great big hug. And when Baby Grumble was tired or wet or hungry, Grandma rocked and giggled and cooed. Grandma was grateful. After a while, the Grumbles started to think that maybe they could be grateful too. When Daddy read the water bill, he was thankful God for his job. And when Mama saw the laundry, she smiled at the kids who wore all those clothes. When Sister took too long, Brother whistled and waited. And when Brother used her stuff, she helped show him how. And when Baby was hungry or wet or tired, she still cried. But that was okay. Because the Grumbles were still grateful most of the time. The end.
Our nation will participate in its 162nd iteration of Thanksgiving. And so we take a moment here to honor the complexity of this holiday. For the joy, the radiant joy of practicing gratitude and community, and also for the harms done in the myths we tell about how it originated and the relationships colonists and indigenous people had. For the pleasure of good cooking and eating, and also the awareness that there are many who do not have enough to eat this week. For the celebration of robust family gatherings, and for all those who no longer feel that they have a family to come to and have found a chosen family. For the excitement of seeing old friends, and for the grief of a loved one's absence at the table. May you find whatever it is that you need this Thursday. Let us settle into our seats and open our hearts. Jim.
Good morning. My name is Jim Carty, he, him, a pastoral care associate for our congregation. Sometimes we experience big changes in our lives, and we need a good listener to talk to. If you are feeling overwhelmed, lost, or alone in your grief, please call the pastoral care team. You can reach out to us at pastoralcareteam@ucdsm.org, and you might reach eventually one of these beautiful people. You can also request assistance or submit a joy or sorrow through the Caring Community page on our website, or by speaking to me or any member of the pastoral care team. We devote this time to honoring all that is held within this community and to letting you know we're holding it with you. We've had a wonderful joy shared with us this week from Martha Shen. She says, "It is with incredulous joy that I receive the news that my poetry chapbook is finally coming to fruition. Thank you. Thank you, Finishing Line Press. Pre-orders have begun, and it is less expensive to pre-order." Publication date is March 20th. It still seems unreal. My friend convinced me to put the collection together and she would submit it. I had never expected to try to publish, let alone enter a national contest, make one of the 8 semifinalists, and be offered publication. The endorsements by authors I don't even know, comparing me to Mary Oliver, James Engelhardt, and Denton Lovings, have been deeply humbling. I bow my head in thankfulness. I do have flyers with a QR code for ordering if anyone is interested or just wants to see what it looks like. My youngest daughter, Ilani Sherrick, painted the cover art. Thank you all for your love and support through all the years. Congratulations, Martha, on this incredible news. And finally, a reminder that the Grief Support Circle meets on the second Monday of each month at 5:30 p.m. in the minister's office. The next gathering is Monday, December 8th. All are welcome to attend. Maybe you're in a season where the joys are adding up, offering moments to celebrate and cherish. Or perhaps you're facing days that feel overwhelming, weighed down by the sorrows and challenges of life. Or, as is so often the case, you may be carrying it all at once. I see you, and we see you, and we care. Through the joys, the sorrows, and everything in between, may the love of this community carry and sustain us. We take this next moment to share aloud, or in writing, the names of those you are carrying in your heart today. We light 3 candles this morning. One for the joys and sorrows shared aloud. One for those shared in writing. And one for those held silently among us. Let us now take 1 minute out of our week to be silent for a time.
In this month of nurturing gratitude, let us recall Albert Schweitzer's words. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us. Friends, our city has faced a massive food shortage with the interruption of SNAP benefits. The Des Moines Area Religious Council, or DMARC, runs a food pantry network that has faced record-setting demand, including 2,494 patrons seeking food on November 3rd. DMARC needs help to face this tidal wave of need. Our Board of Trustees has approved a one-time special offering today. Every cent you give will go directly to DMARC's Food Pantry Network so they can purchase food at wholesale prices to meet this need. Please give generously. Okay, gratitude and acceptance versus anger and frustration. Two different sides of the attitude coin were never clearer to me than during my late husband's illness 5 years ago in the first days of 2020. A diagnosis of 10 years? We were sad but determined to live our lives fully. After a 6-week whiplash of procedures and failures, my anger took over. He was too young. We were nearing retirement with big plans. The treatments necessary to provide a semblance of normal life for him were demanding of us both. I was more than angry. I was PO'd. On February 14th, we exchanged Valentines at his hospital bed, sweet sentiments of gratitude for our 30 years together. Then he told me he wanted to end his treatment and go home. He was giving up. I agreed in principle, but my private dismay overwhelmed me. His first days at home were a blur of family and friends. He smiled when he could and told me not to live without him, but for him. At night, I clung to him as if I could somehow hold him in place. Then the third day, he died peacefully and painlessly in our bed, with our children, his sister, and me at his side. Oddly, instead of imploding, my gratitude expanded. Was I heartbroken? Of course. Would I miss him? Every day. Would I live on regardless? Until my time comes, I'll live for both of us. COVID hit within a week of his funeral. Alone at home, I spent lots of time on mindless sewing projects, making 300 masks for residents at my mom's senior center, then replacing all the plastic buttons on my wardrobe with pearl ones from my grandmother's button jar. A reward at the end of a busy day was a movie. Nothing elevated my spirits more than silliness. The Princess Bride, A Fish Called Wanda, anything by Monty Python or the Marx Brothers. Nothing was as effective as a belly laugh. Still not enough, I learned to gobble like a turkey, acting as a caller on hunts with my son, brothers, and their friends. I walked for miles on the bike paths around Des Moines, and on a mushroom hunt in 2021, Grant and I scattered Paul's ashes at his favorite spots. Church went live again, gratefully, in 2022 and gave me a sense of purpose. Nothing makes me feel more positive than being needed. So thank you all for providing me with projects, willing ears, and a church community. I hosted a bonus Afghani family for 6 months and connected with the joy of raising my own busy family, and now share my home with my bonus son, Waleed, from Pakistan. Every day, I still name my mood, making it as positive as I can. So I'm not angry, I'm cranky. Not frustrated, but grumpy. I reserve genuine and deserved belligerence for politics. Oh, and that's a repeat of the last paragraph. That's the end.
Thank you. How much water is in the glass? It depends who you ask. The optimist says this glass is half full. The pessimist says this glass is half empty. And the engineer points out that the glass contains twice the volume required for the amount of fluid available. What's the truth? How will we know the truth of this glass? That's an epistemological question. Let's bring in Plato. Plato would say that there is an abstract principle of glassness, an objective truth of a proper glass of water. There's an idealized form of glass of water, and I'm guessing it's perfectly full. And that truth is more pure than any particular glass that you could actually have in life. The empiricists would roll their eyes at Plato and say, you know the truth by the actual glass in front of you. This is what it is. We don't ever get a perfectly full glass of water, and if you did get one that was perfectly full, you'd spill it the minute you touched it. The truth, as I have understood it, is that the engineer is right. The glass and the water just don't match. To that, the optimist would say, no problem, we can just fill it up more. And the pessimist would worry, no, the water's already gone, we're already losing. It's just a glass of water, man. It's not doing anything. We are adding ourselves to the glass of water. We're adding our perceptions. We're talking about it. We're interpreting it. But it just is what it is. It's this many ounces of water in this big a glass. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. That's something we add to the water. In the Salatta Sutra from the Pali Canon of Buddhism, the Buddha was trying to explain to his disciples what he meant by the idea of suffering, that suffering is part of life. So he said, okay, look, imagine a wise monk who's basically enlightened and your average Joe on the street. Now, they're both going to experience pain, right? Because suffering is a part of life. They're both going to experience pain, but they're going to experience it differently. As one translation of the parable goes, the guy on the street will feel two kinds of pain: the physical pain, being in life, and mental pain. So just imagine if you were to shoot a man with an arrow and then right afterward were to shoot him with another one so that he would feel the pain of two arrows. The guy on the street, having been touched by the pain of the first arrow, now adds the second arrow. He grieves, he laments, he beats his chest, he becomes distraught. He feels two pains, the physical one and the mental one. Whereas presumably the wise monk goes, I see I've been shot by an arrow. Now, I get the guy on the street's response a lot more than I would get the wise monk's response. I think if that actually happened to me, I would say something like, oh my God, I've been shot by an arrow. I would probably say, this hurts so much. And then my mind would spiral into, how am I going to get to the hospital? Who will finish unloading these groceries? Will I miss 10 weeks of work as I recover from this? Will it leave a scar? And on and on and on. The first arrow is the actual suffering. The second arrow is the mental suffering we bring by interpreting our suffering. Right, so the Buddha goes on to say that the wise monk would feel the pain, he just wouldn't add the second arrow to it. Here is a glass of water. It's not full. It's supposed to be full. What if I get thirsty? What if it evaporates? Or, I see this is the amount of water I have. The second arrow, our interpretation, our expectation, our attachment to what we want the glass to be. Who told you that life would be a glass of full water? Who told you that if you did everything right, you could always avoid the first arrow? We are so surrounded by the answer to that question that it's almost hard to answer. It's like asking a fish to notice water. Who told us that we could earn a full glass of water? Everyone, all the time, constantly. We are swimming in the waters of you earn. What happens to you? There is an incomprehensibly large self-improvement industry that is feeding you a non-stop stream of messages that with enough self-starting drive, with enough initiative and discipline on your own part, you too will get the six-pack abs. You'll get the six-figure income. I feel like these days it should be 7, right? Okay, got to adjust. That if you just do everything right, you'll live to 100. You will deserve it. You will earn it. This current TikTok nutritional supplement TED Talk world is the latest iteration of an idea born from the original colonists to America. Many of the pilgrims were steeped in a kind of Calvinist theology that takes as its starting point Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 8. For those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, in order that he might be the firstborn within a large family. And those whom he predestined, he also called, and those whom he called, he also justified, and those whom he justified, he also glorified. What then are we to say about these things? If God is for us, who is against us? Calvin, like many people who were interpreting this line, did not presume that you had to earn God's salvation. That was God's grace to you. But they did say that if you are in God's good graces, you'll notice it in your life. We see this today in the prosperity gospel. I don't know if you're familiar with this movement. It says that those who live in accordance with God will be blessed by God with their prosperity. In the case of Paul and Calvin and perhaps the prosperity gospel followers, although I'm not sure they read the Bible as clearly, it's not that we earn God's salvation. That's still God's grace. It's that we can tell who's in God's grace by the blessings in their lives. All this led the sociologist Max Weber to note a certain Protestant work ethic that marries capitalism and Christianity in a way that is a little bit uncomfortable. But it leads to this idea that idleness is sin, that you earn your life by your bootstraps, by your hustle. And so even if this is not your theology, even if this is not the water that you choose, it is the water you swim in, and you notice it every time there's a calculation in your head when someone gets hit by an arrow. Cancer, but he's so young and he's so healthy. I can't believe she was in a car accident. She's a careful driver. There has to be a reason for the arrow, a math that will somehow square up a bad thing happening to a good person. I knew someone who lived well into their 90s who was kind of mean-spirited, ate poorly, and had very few social connections. I lost a friend in their 40s who was physically fit, intellectually curious, socially connected, generous, a gem of a human. The math rarely adds up. The amount of water in the glass never correlates so directly with the worth of the person holding it. And not for nothing, we say that everyone has worth. No one has the power to stop the first arrow, and teachers have been saying this for millennia. It is the cost of living, that you will meet pain and illness and grief. There is no Oprah episode on, is this on? Okay. There is no Oprah episode on living your best life. There is no TikTok video on life hacks. There is no religious or intellectual training that will give you the life without suffering. And it breaks my heart every day to realize this, that life is a package deal. You will get sorrow and grief and illness and death, but if you're awake to it, you will also get joy and love and health and life and little babies. The second arrow is the expectation. What we think we're owed, what we think it should be, a full glass of water, darn it. And once you get it into your heads that you are owed a full glass of water in recompense for your labors, you will do everything in your power to plan for the future of your water, to look to the past, to notice where you might have slipped and lost water, to spend every day maximizing water output. You could spend your entire adulthood lost in reflection about your childhood. You could spend your entire adulthood lost in worry about 6 months from now. But there was a teacher who worked with a student who was always lost in the future, a Buddhist named Yoda, who had an intransigent student named Luke who never was present. And so, to quote Yoda, all his life has he looked away, to the future, to the horizon, never his mind on where he was, what he was doing. Buddhism, okay. Or another Buddhist, John Lennon, and no, I don't have a Liverpool accent. I tried, it just didn't stick. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. In other words, look, here, right now, water, drink it. Is the glass half full or half empty? It really depends who you ask. And it also depends how thirsty you are. So when my two oldest children were about 8 and 5, we were on a vacation, and they were anxious to move their bodies, but the next event on our itinerary wasn't until hours later. And I looked out, there was a beautiful hill just across the river. So I grabbed an apple and a bottle of water, and I said to them, see that hill across the river? Let's just hike up to the top of it. Let's get a view of the town. So we tied on our shoes, and off we went. 1 bottle of water, 1 apple. Now this was one of those hills where you think it might be like a mile, but it actually goes back behind the hill, and then a switchback and a switchback, and it was way more than they bargained for. Clearly, we did not have enough supplies for it, so I had to immediately ration sips of water and say, we are not going to eat this apple until we get to the top of the hill, but imagine how good it will taste. Well, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles later, you can judge my parenting, that's fine. We did reach the top, and sure enough, it was the best tasting apple they had ever eaten in their lives. Of course it was. They were exhausted. They were famished. Every bite lit up their brains on an fMRI. The best tasting apple is a family shorthand I use now for the exquisite kind of pleasure that comes from finishing something unexpectedly hard. And I'm guessing you have some experience like that in your life. Maybe you went on a horrible camping trip that was much colder and rainier than it was forecast. Oh, that first night of sleep back home, a hot shower and a mattress? You're like a princess. Or you're struggling financially, you've lost the past job, you haven't yet started the new job, you've been skipping meals to make the money work, but you get your first paycheck, and that dinner at McDonald's is a feast for a king. In this moment, this glass of water is nothing to me. It's nothing special. It would be my 5th glass of water this morning. Singers, hydrate. But if I had gone 36 hours without water, every drop would be exquisite and priceless. So is the glass half empty or half full? It depends who you ask. It depends how thirsty they are. As I mentioned, this week, of course, is Thanksgiving. As a nation, we will practice our ritual of giving thanks for the blessings in our lives. In our families or chosen circles, we gather to eat well and to say thank you. And we honor that it's complicated. There is a deep grief for those who are no longer at the table with you, and I honor that. But there is a gratitude beneath that pain. It's a bit of a walk to get there, but there is. I am so grateful to have loved you. There is a kind of anxiety in some of our Thanksgivings around the relative who starts a fight. But there is, and this is a long walk to get there, but there is a gratitude beneath that. I'm grateful you're here. I'm grateful that you respect me enough and you respect my mind enough to try and change it. You care enough about me to try and talk me into crypto. Gratitude is a powerful force. I don't think it will ever trick our brains into making every glass of water taste like salvation from a desert of thirst. I just don't think that's how brains work. But I do think that the practice of gratitude can remind us of the precious quality of the glass. Gratitude prevents us from taking things for granted. It prevents us from taking things for granted. Gratitude makes us mindful of the blessing of a glass of water, mindful of the blessing of an apple, mindful of the blessing of one another right here, right now. Another Buddhist quote, I'm being loose on this, is the Buddha asks, how many teeth in your mouth don't hurt right now? You forget to count that blessing. How many diseases do you not have right now? This water right here, right now. This body here, right now. These loved ones here, now. because we will set ourselves up for misery and so much second arrow sorrow when we're fixed to a platonic ideal of what the glass should be. Our bodies should always work the same. Our loved ones should live forever. That car should always start when I turn the key. I deserve this. Excuse me, cosmic waiter, this glass is not as full as I ordered. There's a new sermon right there. That's just never been the deal with existence. Now we can and we should and we will grieve, we will lament, we will rage when things fall apart. I do not want to misinterpret the Buddhist parable to mean that we should never have feelings. Let's not gaslight ourselves over the deeply human and loving and normal responses we have to that first arrow. I don't think there's anything wrong with that kind of crying. But when things fall apart, and they do, that's part of the deal, we can ease the suffering of that second arrow with our gratitude practices, and we can come back here to pick one another up. As we nurture our practice of gratitude, we can spend less time measuring precisely how much water is missing, just how much we're owed that isn't filled, and we can learn to spend our time savoring the sips we get. Because you and I are never going to have a full cup of water, and there's always something in the glass. With mindful gratitude, we may yet find that the cup is fuller than we thought, and it tastes better than we knew. Cheers.
We're singing hymn 108. Stand if you want. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn, that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars, I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me clothes, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Its handrails in heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
Please join me in saying the extinguishing chalice words in your order of service or on the screen. May we go forth from this place, thankful for the life that sustains us and renews us, and the grace that surrounds and surprises us. May we go forth from this place with openness and thanksgiving.
For all that is our lives, we give our thanks and praise. This flame is extinguished, but our gratitude continues in the world. Go in peace.
Alleluia, sang stars that gave us birth. Alleluia, from sounds our home the earth. Alleluia, shall echo across the skies. Alleluia, when peace has shown us wise. Amen.
As this live stream from First Unitarian Church comes to an end, remember that previous live streams can be found on our YouTube channel. We'd love to see you in person someday. Until then, thanks for joining us.